Hell might be a triggering word for some people, though, whatever you're going through, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like things are not going to get better, I want you to know that you're not alone. And that today I'm sharing 6 tips, which I hope will help you to feel like you're able to keep moving and to move forward. And hi, if you're new here, my name is Judy, and I'm doing this challenge where I'm posting something of value for 90 days. Before I get in the tips, I will just say that I have gone through some things. Like, I have a portfolio of shitty experiences that are helping to inform me on how to share moments of value. I try to look at things that I have survived, such as being held against my will, being in abusive relationships, both work relationships and personal relationships, having carbon monoxide poisoning, surviving stage 2 cancer. There's a lot, that's just some of them. I do believe, for me personally, that if I can take those experiences and help others to avoid some of the shit that I've gone through, that's a good value, not just for what I'm sharing to you, but also for me to know that that can be helpful. And so what I wanted to do is just make this video because even though I am busy with running our farm and my tech business and being a mom and learning to play an instrument again, all these things happening, I am not oblivious to what is happening in the United States and in other parts of the world. And I know how debilitating it can be to want to make a difference and to feel powerless. And so some of the tips that I'm going to share today, I hope that you will find empowering to you so that you can move forward for whatever your life purpose is, whether you're still exploring that or if you feel pretty confident. I just hope that these tips will be helpful to you. So the first tip is to either create or find a safe space for logic and love. And I want to connect with others who are on the same wavelength. Not in a this is the way that you should live, because I will never should on you. I will, however, share my experiences, and I hope to hear about your experiences so we can compare notes. Again, in a safe space kind of way, not in a we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Like, no. While there are forces that are causing division, I think that it's important now more than ever for us to help each other out. I want to create spaces that are full of honesty and kindness and compassion. So I hope that you have that. And if not, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I don't hate people that have differing beliefs. My husband's really good at pointing this out, that we all have had different experiences that have led up to this moment, and we don't know what other people are dealing with. And I think that's so important to keep in mind on every interaction that we have, because I think that we can learn and grow from everybody that we meet. Right now, though, it's just so difficult to watch people that we know, like friends and family, falling victim to propaganda or getting so caught up in just hating everybody, or some of them are, about what's happening. And that doesn't do anyone any good. That's just feeding more negativity into the system. So I choose to focus my energy on building community and spaces for people to come together that are rooted in compassion, logic, and love. So again, welcome. Even in my darkest of times, I have relied on something that I learned, which is to find something that makes your soul spark in that day. Something that you can have gratitude for. And I learned this right after my divorce. I wanted to get better at running. I found some triathletes that were running a fitness retreat. And I had no idea they would have any woo-woo stuff. I remember sitting around in a circle after we'd done all these different activities, and they said, "What made your soul spark today?" I'm like, okay, it's an interesting question. Though it really is a powerful thing to do. It's so easy to just be so hyper-focused on all the negativity without allowing that acknowledgement that there are positives that are still a part of your day. And if we can look at what's positive. It's not saying that we're dismissing anything else that might be going on that needs attention. It's allowing us to experience those moments of joy, the ones that make our soul spark. It's really a full circle moment because in 2 weeks, my husband and I are hosting our first retreat here at the farm, and I hope that the attendees find those moments that make their soul spark. It reminds me of the idea, put your oxygen mask on first. You have to fill your cup up, is another way it's said, before you can give to others. So finding ways that we can feel more energized so that we can share that with others. If your battery's on low, you need to recharge. So finding those moments, whether it's stepping out into nature and just being grateful that you're able to see trees, whatever it is for you, but find those things that make your soul spark. And I'm grateful for you. I was so pleasantly surprised to see that 111 people had subscribed last week. I just love thinking that if that helped one more person to know they needed a carbon monoxide detector, or to get them for their family, or anything else that I've talked about in the other videos, then it's worth it. So thank you. I appreciate you being here. It can be very tough to see people suffering and not know how to help, and especially on such a grand scale as we are witnessing today. I really hope that you can find ways that even just small things, just be aware of the fact that those can ripple outwards. I couldn't post for a few days. Well, I won't be able to post now because I have client work. However, when I wasn't posting before, it's just, I felt so overwhelmed. I wanted to make a bigger impact. I wanted to be able to help more people. And what I was reminded of is, again, you can just help one person and that person can pass that along and things can ripple out. I think that today, especially since we're seeing so many things from the internet and just the news that you wouldn't normally see, the people on the other side of the world that you might not be able to have an immediate impact on. And I'm not saying to not find ways to help people if you feel called to do that. What I'm saying is, please don't feel stuck and unable to move forward if you can't fix all of the problems that are happening at the same time. And I know that's something that a lot of people I know are dealing with. So just be aware those small acts of kindness can ripple outwards. Remaining calm in the face of a lot of tension can even be disarming. And there's more that I can share about that later on. Though for me personally, making these videos, I'm learning editing. And again, if I share one thing that can help somebody else, then that maybe will help someone else, then that has a bit of a ripple effect. But raising your own vibration affects the people that are around you. So again, self-care is not selfish. What you need to be able to move forward, try to find that for yourself, because it might take some exploration of different things that either I'm talking about or other people are talking about. Making those improvements, like you might not be able to improve the world right now, but what can you improve in your own life that's going to make you stronger and more available in helping other people? And another point on that, you might already know the wisdom and experience that you want to share with others. However, maybe you don't feel that you feel confident in things like public speaking, or that you want to develop your leadership skills. I'm going to link in the description, but there is a group called Toastmasters International that I have in the past been a part of, though it really does offer a very supportive environment, which was the first tip that I was talking about, but to help you to find your voice and to help you to learn public speaking. So again, it's something that I'll share in the link that if you've never checked it out, it might be worth a visit. Sometimes the path that you had planned on is blocked. And that doesn't mean that you're done. It just means it's time to try another way. And it's like the last video I did. I could not find a way to get my bike down to the bike trail at first. And, I found a way to get through that. And part of the reason that I was able to do that, and some feedback I get sometimes where people will see I'm in a situation that other people might react super negatively to, is I've been practicing being calmer and calming down like my nervous system, which I'll talk about that in a moment, but learning to act from a place of clarity and calm. And not to say, believe me, I lose my shit sometimes. I'm not saying that I'm always calm, but it's like a muscle. You know, you practice it. And if you do lose your shit, you recognize it and apologize to whoever you need to, then also try to find another way. So what I want to say is that when you can have clarity over where it is you are trying to get to, you can find other ways to get there, even if one path is blocked. And so sometimes, you know, seemingly meaningless coincidences, you know, may occur, or synchronicities where, wow, that was really interesting, end up leading to the right people or places or events that help you to progress forward on whatever bigger vision you have. So if you already know your life path or your dharma or your soul purpose, or if you're still figuring that out, like getting yourself to a state of being calmer can help you to see what might even already be there and you just aren't recognizing it. Like I have that. My husband makes fun of me all the time because I need something and I can't see it. I think it's the ADHD. It's like a lot of distractions. Though there's a bug distracting me just now. But what I want to say is, my family would sometimes say, oh, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. Like it's right there, right in front of you. And sometimes we just can't see it because we're so distracted by everything else that's going on. And right now, again, we're in this, I mean, really, it's a distraction economy. If you can find a way to pull away from that a bit, the answers might become even easier for you. And you may increase those synchronicities that help you to find a way forward. And that leads me to this tip number 5. Finding these solutions and having those synchronistic type moments usually is if you're in the right frame of mind. And if you're stuck in the chaos, if you're stuck in like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, it makes it hard to see these synchronicities. And if you can work to calm down your nervous system, it goes a long way. I am going to put a link in the description to Yoga Nidra. If you've never experienced that before, it's yoga sleep. And a lot of health gurus are promoting it now, calling it NSDR or non-sleep deep rest. Though you're basically laying still and you're focusing on your breath, and then you just think about different parts on your body. And honestly, I kind of tell people about it and say it's like having an internal massage. I do track my health metrics, and I can tell when I do Yoga Nidra, it really can help you to recover if you've had one of those nights with very little sleep or doom scrolling and you need more energy. So I highly encourage you to check it out. I'll put a link down below. There's other tips that I'll share in the future, but that is one that's very helpful. The last thing that I wanted to say is we are all having our unique experiences, and it takes some experimentation sometime to find out what works for you to raise your vibe. And one thing that usually works for a lot of people that I know is music. So if you're maybe not stuck right now, like put that playlist together now. Or if you are feeling stuck, what are some songs that you can look back on that help to raise your vibe and make you feel more positive? It really can, like you're down in that depths and you're not feeling like you can even move forward. Sometimes you need to find these things that can lift you up. It's like having that ladder thrown down to help you to start climbing back up again. Music is a great way. I'm going to put some links to that. I hope something here was helpful to you. And if you are finding that you are feeling stuck or you're dealing with something, if you want, you could even drop an 1111 in the chat and I can send Reiki to that. You don't have to share with me if you don't want what the personal thing is, or if you want to, you can message me as well. I do wish the best for you, and for me, and for all of us as we move forward. And check out the playlist wherever that shows up here if you want some other things that I've talked about. And I hope the best for us all. Take care.